All right, this Corona lockdown is no excuse not to work out, even if you don't have any equipment or if your gym's closed. You can make one of these suspension straps with fairly simple items. Here's basically what you'll need times two. You'll need some 2-inch PVC pipe. Again, maybe about a foot's worth, cut it in half. You'll need some 550 paracord, about 4 feet. You're gonna cut it in half, 2 feet for each side. And then you'll need about 20 feet of 1100 paracord, which you're gonna use 10 feet for each side. You can get it either Home Depot, maybe you already have it at home, or even order it on Amazon or online.
Here's the device attached vertically to a couple of palm trees. This is a close-up of the handles. Here's me demonstrating the Australian pull-up, push-ups, regular pull-ups, and single leg squats using the device.
Here's the basic tools you'll need. A hacksaw or some kind of saw to cut the PVC pipe, a lighter and sandpaper. You can use that to smooth out the edges of the PVC pipe once you cut it. Some sort of cutting instrument. I'm using the CRKT Clever Girl, designed by McLaughlin. Awesome knife, but you can use any knife or scissors. Also, you can use the lighter to singe the end of the paracord once you cut it, and some duct tape. Why? No particular reason. It's just always good to have duct tape. Okay, your basic raw materials that you'll need for this little project is you'll need about 20 feet of 1100 paracord, about 4 feet of 550 paracord, some PVC piping. I like using a 2-inch pipe because it's a bigger grip and makes my forearms work harder. But if you want something smaller, you can get 3/4 or 1-inch PVC. One thing I did leave off is the in the tool section is a tape measure, and that's going to allow you to measure out your cord and your PVC pipe.
Just a quick demo of how long it takes to saw through a piece of PVC. Took about the same time with the larger pieces.
Okay, so you're gonna need to know 3 knots for this in order to make this this tool. So one is a chimney knot. Actually, it's a hitch, a Persic knot, and a square knot. The internet is full of tutorials or instructional videos on how to make them, so I won't go real deep into it. I'll show it once or twice, but again, chimney hitch, Persic knot or Persic, and the old square knot. Okay, we're gonna start with the easiest one, which is the square knot. Plus, remember when I said I didn't know what I'd need the duct tape for? Well, actually I found a good use for it. You'll see. So we'll start with our piece of pipe, and we're gonna run our 550 paracord through it, and we're gonna do a square knot. Now this is what we're gonna do. This black tip part, and this is where the duct tape comes in handy, is gonna be our guiding side. So this is the one I'm gonna reference. So we're gonna take, I'm just gonna call it the black tip. We're gonna put the black tip underneath the regular side, right? You're gonna make this X, and then you're gonna take the black tip towards you, underneath, and over. Then you're going to take the black tip again, bring it under the other side, and you're gonna see that little hole. You're gonna put it through the hole, and you're gonna pull. And it should look like that, like a figure 8 type of design, nice and easy. Again, if you go on the internet, you'll find a bunch of tutorials on how to make a square knot. And that's it. That's your first handle. Repeat with the other one. So here's how you tie the Persic knot. You're gonna tie the handle with the orange 550 cord around your 1100 paracord. It's fairly simple. Let's do it in a way that'll take advantage of these colors. So here's how you start. Try to keep the knot close to the edge of the PVC pipe. Now put the orange underneath the black, right? And you can do it anywhere along the line here, but we're just gonna do it here just to have some room. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put the handle over the black and through the orange, and then under the black one time. Okay, then you're going to do it again 2 times. Press it up afterward, and then a 3rd time. You're going to go over the black and then underneath. All right, so you'll end up, you notice here, I'm going to clean it up a little bit so you can see it. You're going to see 3 spirals or curlicues. You don't want them overlapping at this point. So you see 3 and 3. Now what you do is start bringing them together. And like I've said before, if you you bring them together nice and slow. You can see it start taking shape. And this part requires just a little bit of patience. And when you're done, it should look something or act exactly like this. You've got 3 spirals here, or curlicues, 3 on this side, and this is coming up in the middle. And this is what is gonna adjust up and down on your 1100 paracord, which is what's tied to the object, right? And then when you cinch it, it's gonna lock you in place. And again, just YouTube a Prusik knot, mountain climbing, and there's a lot of tutorials on how to tie it the right way. One important thing I didn't emphasize is you're going to use your sandpaper and maybe even your lighter after you cut the PVC pipe to smooth and sand down the edges so that you don't fray your paracord. So again, nice and smooth. You know, didn't take a lot. I mean, this is pretty soft stuff. And if you kind of heat it up just a little bit and then sandpaper it, you'll be good to go. All right, now we're gonna do the chimney hitch. I suggest that you use some sort of anchoring point to practice on. I'm gonna use this palm tree, which I've been using all along. But this is what you do. We're gonna call this one the long end, and this is the short end. So let's take the short end on our left hand and go underneath the long end. That should look like a letter E. Give yourself a little room to work with here. Right, so short end underneath the long end. Then you're gonna go 1 time in through this loop, a 2nd time in through the loop, and you're gonna see like a little curlicue. Now this is the tricky part. You're gonna go a 3rd time, but you're gonna do that one outside of the loop, and you're gonna come in right up the middle through the little loop that you created. So when you're done, let me tighten it up a little, you should have 3 loops, 2 on the inside of this bigger loop, right? Or these little curlicues, and 1 on the outside. And turn it around. That's how it should look. 1, 2, 3. And this, again, if you've done any camping, this is what you use to tie down tents or tarps. That won't move. And then the nice thing is you can adjust it and it holds. And this is what's gonna hold your device, whether you cinch it on a tree. Here, this one happens to be vertical, or you tie it on something horizontal. My suggestion again is that you YouTube Chimney Hitch and just practice. One of the nice things about using the Chimney Hitch is that sometimes you don't have the luxury of a horizontal device where you could attach your rope. So in this case, using a palm tree, it's vertical, it stays there tight. I weigh about 220 pounds and I had no problem doing pull-ups, as you'll see. All right, so here's what the final product looks like. It could look neater if you had these square knots on the inside of the tube. I kind of like leaving them on the outside because it lets me know that that I still have a good knot and I have, you know, about 1 inch safety left on the ends. There's a Prusik knot that we'll use for the adjustments, and then I use Chimney Hitch to attach it to my pull-up bar. But it could be a tree branch or whatever. And again, very easy to tie. The other thing you can do, if the branch is too tall, is you can interconnect those 2 knots and just toss the whole thing over a a branch and make your adjustments with the Prusik knot. As you can see, I still have a lot of extra room to go, or cord. All right, one thing you want to do for sure with these knots is once you make the adjustment, let's say you guide it where you want, I like giving it a nice quick tug, and that locks it in place. To unlock it, all you got to do is, if you look here, just kind of pull this out a little, move it toward the middle, and now you'll see it slides up and down with no issue. And again, just give it a quick tug like that, and it'll be locked in place. So I try to go for the pull-ups as high as I can. I'll cinch it here, and then here you adjust this, just give it a quick tug, and now you're locked. All right, so once you're done, cool thing is with the bigger pipe, you can stow the stuff inside. I actually travel with these quite a bit. I've had them in Ireland, I've had them in Italy. I go out for a run, I find a fence, I find the tree, throw them up there, and I could do a full, TRX or suspension type of workout. Or even if I find the gym that just has a pull-up bar, it gives me another dimension. And again, I never had a problem in my carry-on in TSA. And again, once you get to your place, that's it. You got your cord. This part's already attached. All you got to do is find some place to put this in, use your chimney hitch, and you're good to go. No excuses, even with the coronavirus. All right, a shout out to Matt Schiffer from the Red Delta project. I actually got the idea for the Prusik knots from him. He's got an awesome YouTube and books and all kind of stuff on how to make this and other cool exercise equipment. So special thanks to that guy. And I think the only modification that I did, and I haven't seen all his videos, was just use the chimney hitch. Other than that, guy's got good ideas. Here's me just demonstrating, the same exercises that you saw at the beginning of the video, a little longer, so you have an idea of what you can do. Also, if I sounded out of breath through a lot of parts of the video, I apologize if it was annoying. I was actually making the video and doing the stuff during my rest sets when I was working out. So sorry about that. I'm sure if you Google TRX workouts, there's a lot more exercises out there that you could do using these things. So go to it. Have a good one.